finals on the player stage here at I-61. So they will be fighting tooth and nail to get there. It's knife round coming in to beat. A good start from CEX would be key. We've seen them perform, I think, slightly better on their CT side more than their T side. So let's see if they can pull this one together. Knife round may be one of the more crucial ones here.
Yeah, for sure. I tend not to put that much stock in the knife round. You've got to play both halves, and in theory, you should be strong on both. But sometimes teams will prefer to have this. I mean, if anything, I think it's a good one to lose and let the other team have to make the tough choice or not, as the case may be. So Hemsky's going to be dropping away for CX, and he's actually picked up another frag. So 1 versus 1 Sitch. Hemsky's going to have to pull out his ninja skills to avoid it. He's already taken one good stab. And it's down to Shaney and Hemsky to try and decide this. Don't mess around with the door.
Hemsky realises that he can't really afford to go too close to Shaney. If Shaney right-clicks once, he's dead. So, getting close. Come on. Oh, back turn. This is going to be insta-kill right here. He's just staying away as much as he can. He doesn't want to give this one away so easy, but eventually he will get found. There it is. Even a left click was all you needed to do it. There it is. It will be Vexed holding down the opening start choice, and it looks like they will go for the CT side. As is understandable, it is a CT favoured map, very traditionally. So, let's see if they can make the best start that they can. Pistol round coming in to be the double flash and defuse kit out for Shiki already. And over on the T side, it's going to be the Glocks coming out, the armour out for Lincoln Hemsky. Or Hemsben, I think he's telling us what his intentions are after we are done with this grand final. But no utility for the T side, no setup, no execution. Just going to be straight out Angels at the gate for the CEX side.
And let's see what we got. So moving through. Oh, wow, that's quick. Dances with one. And then Hemsky with 2. Make that 3. They went for contact up a banana while they had a couple of players splitting out towards second mid. That's completely opened things up. The rotate comes in towards the B to try and bolster it. That's opened up the A for the plant to come in. That is exactly where it is. 2 players going to be trying to rotate in. They will go for this as Aussie steps up, uses the USP from range, finds the face, and is able to click him down. So that's brought it to a 1-man advantage for CEX, but they are probably going to be able to lock this one down, we would think.
Yeah, Shiki got no armor, so he can't take a very aggressive stance. It's going to be Ozzy to do all the work right here, and they've locked down the crossfire, that exact same setup, in towards the corners of the site, and Astro just executes Ozzy coming on out. LS peeks through, takes down Shiki, and that will be the pistol round to CEX. A lot of great aggression. Again, back towards that B setup. We saw it earlier on this weekend. The T side just pushing up, looking for that opening pick around this general area, and to CTs as they come around here, just trying to find those openings too. And indeed, they found 3 in total in Banana. That turned it to a 2-on-4 as the trade came through on Dancy. That was just easy as. That CEX being as clinical as they can with their defaults. They'll go in with 3 AKs into this next round, and it just kind of proves the point of mentality of where CEX stand. They want to get this one finished. They want to take a decisive lead. They want to take a decisive map and go through the series as quick as they can to the grand finals.
Yeah, that would be great. Although good chance here for Vex to do something. If they can pick up a couple of those AKs as well as the frags that go along with it, that could turn the tide and have a bit of a backwards and forwards affair to kick things off. Flash is coming up into the banana area. I think Vex maybe just wanting to be a little careful to make sure that doesn't happen again. Dances with a customary little glance, taken down to 82 points of health as a little warning shot in his direction to drop off a logs, and probably won't be going for that again anytime soon. One of the AKs in the form of Astro going to the top mid, going to be trying to make a pick from there. Shaney sitting in super close quarters. He doesn't have much of an effective range with that Swag 7 in hand, and see Shiki peeks out to get the information. Shaney maybe has the chance to get a play from behind with the backstab. Aussie's going to have contact to 3 players, and he gets 2 of those 3 players before in comes the frag. Hemsky, yeah, he gets the frag on Shaney, who was just too far away to do anything. Maybe could have used the advantage to run up, but instead trying to pick up the frag. Doesn't pan out. Lumchi, though, might have a play on the top of Dances, and Vex have the numbers advantage here. Maybe if they can get one of these AKs, it will turn the tide for them.
3v2, and it seems like the CTs may have found their way back in. Hemsky does get traded out on 4 HP eventually, but 2 kills on 4 is very, very good for a man like him. It's all dancing now, 1 versus 2. He's got 10 seconds left to play with, and the CTs are closing in the gap. He's getting himself on towards the site, 3 seconds. No time to plant, so unless he's planting right now, his round is over, and indeed it is. Lumji gets the kill. I think the question at the moment is, Oh, I can't even see the tab menu. Oh dear. Well, the question at the moment was whether Dancy got taken down before or after the timer, and it looks like it's after the timer, so no money in the bank for him, no opportunity for the force buy for the T side. Means it's going to be a very, very basic eco come out. A few hand cannons, we've got Ford Eagles, P250 out for Dancy, but no Kevlar except on Astro, no utility of any particular note. It's just going to be a basic 2-1 to come into this first couple of rounds for the Vex side.
Sure is. That nade does very little damage towards the bottom mid, but it's the standard thing that you do. Double nade again probably would have only got splash damage and would have added too much to the mix. Deagles maybe gives you an opportunity. They'll be spamming their angles as Astro did there through the smoke. Vex just slowing things down, using the smokes, giving themselves the cover, maybe just counter-stratting for any fast pushes or any deco headshots that might come in. Wise play in that regard, and it's very cat and mouse. It hasn't happened very often throughout this tournament as a whole in the matches that we've watched, where a team is getting the customary 3-0 from the pistol and the SMGs afterwards, and it shows that we have some closely fought battles, and I think this one again could go the distance. Now, these Deagles are going to be interesting. You have to be on point. If you miss the first shot, your accuracy goes all over the gaff. Shaney has a potential play and takes LS down to 72 points of health. Vanity and Aussie not being roped into anything yet. They are sticking firm on the B site.
And here they come, a little over 35 seconds left on the clock in the T side. We'll try and hit the A side. They've got a lot of aggression out towards the truck side. 2 players out towards Arch, and first man will go down. Lumji, Shaney, Shiki all combining on through with 4 kills between the 4. And that will just be like that link going down. Very easy stuff. Of course, the armor playing against the CEX lineup will mean that they do lose that one. Relatively quickly, of course, the money bolstered from the CT side of the Vex team. That's how it kind of goes down. They're just trying to build up that economy, get the kills on the SMGs, and indeed that's exactly what they did in that last round. Match pause coming on through. I assume, just on the basis of how early this pause is coming on through, that it is a technical pause for one of these 2 teams. And, can't really talk about too much strategy at this point going into this particular technical pause. The T side CEX, they've got very little money to work with. This will probably be another slightly bought pistol eco, but no Kevlar, no utility as standard, because they don't really have the money to go for it in this case. They haven't got a whole lot of bomb plants, especially in that last round, so this will be very, very basic. Once again, another very similar standard Counter-Strike meta eco coming in for the Vex team.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, if they did force it, they wouldn't be that worse off as far as weaponry, but they wouldn't have that utility. They wouldn't have the armor, so they would have still been at a disadvantage. And I think quite wisely, just going to take an easy one here and cruise through. Make sure that they can get themselves a full buy ready next time out, whether that be, let's get an AWP in hand. Oh, Shiki straight away with the opening pick. Link, though, with the Deagle, and there's the spray down. Hasn't really worked that well, the crossfire in mid. They went one at a time at it, and it's ended up with a 3-for-3 trade, which is only going to favour the terrorists, who are going to get a bomb plant down. $800 in the account, couple of umps, which is going to be 200% kill bonus for any frags that they get with those as well. So a chance for them to build some bank. LS gets one. He's distracted by Lumji, who pushes in through the apps. 3v2. The retake is almost definitely going to come in here, and does.
And nicely done from CEX, though. The best they were really hoping for in that round was getting a bomb plant. Everything else would have been a bonus. The fact they took down 2 players, got a couple SMGs in the back, in the hands, and started to build that economy, that's all just bonuses for that T side. So CEX have a nice buy-in with this. They could get out the double AWP if they wanted to and go seriously aggressive with that sniper, but in this case, only Hemsky will buy it. Only the 4 AKs out for the CEX lineup. On the flip side for the CEX, for the counter-terrorist side, excuse me, we've got the AWP, 1 AK, 1 M4, the 2 UMPs from Lumji and Aussie, saved from that last round. They want to try and see if they can bolster that economy a little bit more, get as much value out of those weapons as they can, which is just more Counter-Strike meta. And this early on in the game, you can afford to concede a couple of those rounds. And I would look at the CT economy, but for some reason I can't do it. We'll have to fix that in between the next couple of maps. But, they probably, on standard meta, they should have enough money to buy down here. And they're going to go aggressive, try to see if they can take down CX before they can even get started. Aussie will get the first, but that does get traded back. And the health of the CTs actually going into the closing minute of the round is very, very low.
It is, and I kind of see what they're trying to do by getting aggressive, but maybe wasn't the wisest idea. I think as they've got the scrub weapons in the mix still, I thought that might have been the better play, but maybe absorbing pressure and waiting for the push onto the site would have been the route to take, but hindsight is a wonderful thing. Hemsky tries to make something happen with the AWP, and the AWP on T side of Inferno is pretty limited. Got Ozzy close right, and he steps. That wasn't the best moment to be doing that. Maybe thinking he heard the footsteps pushing up mid, wasn't banking on the second terrorist being up there and ready. So yeah, that AWP, it's limited in what you can do with it. You've pretty much got to get an early pick with it, and then you can, once you're onto the site with the help for your teammates, you can work. And Lumji, he's got one as they make their way up into the B site, going for the execute. Not too much in the way of utility, but they don't need it because Link is able to make the opening gambit, and they are into the site. Retake coming in.
So far, solidified defensive in the CT side, but a couple of misplays and mistakes coming in from several players, particularly Aussie peeking out towards that banana area and just not reading the situation as best as they could. It actually means that they'll be on the save for this one. 3v2 retake from the B site is not an easy one to win, especially if you were that two-man in this situation. So that Vexed are going to go ahead and just call it out right there. Just like, nope, don't even bother. Just save the AWP, save the M4. Money would look a little bit better. We'd have a more like solid out buy. You know, we've got a little bit of utility to save as well on Shaney, so just best to hold on to everything that we can and try to see if we can break the CEX side. Maybe even look for an exit, because you know an exit in this case against the CEX lineup would just be even better for Vexed. And LS could challenge. I don't think they're in the right positions. They're holding out in app, so that's more than fine. That money line is looking very, very good. So yeah, it will be a nice full buy back into this round, even on Shaney and Sheiky. That's going to be the 4 M4s coming out for the CTs. Vice versa for CEX. They got 4 AKs. They got the AWP still on Hemsky. But their money line's still looking kind of awkward. There still could be a chance here for Vex to reset.
Yeah, potentially. And, you know, it's still early doors, so the loss bonus isn't at its maximum, but it's enough to make an impact. And it's times like this where you can really start to open things up. You know, we talked about it. How balanced is Inferno? Well, a bit like Train. You know, the latest incarnation of it is probably the most balanced towards T-side that it's ever been. Wider angles, more opportunities to make picks, but Dancy's, he's able to take Shaney, who's getting aggressive with the AWP, and I'm not sure that's the best play. It's things like that where, okay, you see highlight plays when it goes right, but there are so many routes where it can go completely wrong for you like that. I mean, he didn't even get the chance to fire off a shot.
See, the mistake that Shaney made peeking out from that apps area is the fact that you don't actually know how much of your view model is actually looking out.
Yeah.
And it is shockingly huge. You can get taken down so easy. That's exactly what happened. Shaney looked in towards the corner but knocked down the full app. So now there'll be a man down in this defensive, but Aussie's doing good work to try and trade it back and keep it in towards the favor of the CT side. Asher and Hemsky, they try and backdoor. They say no thanks. CEX will take this 2 versus 4. And Vanity and Sheiky will be the last 2 alive. Sheiky on the side of the A site will take down the first, but Dancy through the shot of his own teammate will shut him down. Vanity will try and back, but he's got 19 HP. There's a 2 versus 1, the retake on towards the A site. This is, you know, possible, but extremely unlikely, especially with Vanity's current HP. Might just look to save this AWP and call it out for the CT side.
Yeah, for sure. You know, CT's had some opportunities where they could have, they were making picks. But the thing they seem to keep doing is re-peeking. Vanity comes in, gets one. He is going for this one, and I think he might have an idea on where this player is, and he does, but he isn't able to pick up the frag. And I maybe would have liked for Aussie and for Lumji, once that kill came in, to sit in and just edge back in. But instead they're sitting out on the angle, trying to pick up more frags. And that's not going to end well for you. CEX are a well-drilled unit, and there will be other players following in to try and trade back in pretty much every angle you're looking at if they've got the numbers. And it showed there. Vexed, again, have also pushed and been a little too aggressive. They've got to be careful, and I think if they are a little more passive, take what they can when they can, and then wait for the opportunities, they might be better set to do well in this map.
Vex will buy down very hard into this next round. However, the money was not looking that great post-buy, and you can see just out of the utility and the setup that they've got going on right here, it's not that great in its own right. 1 AWP, 2 FAMASas and 2 UMPs. Not exactly the same as a full-blown buy set up from the CT side. So they're on the back foot for all intents and purposes. They have got to go up against the AWP 4 AK set up on the T side. And they're once again going back in towards that split default. They've got 1 man pushed up towards Banana, keeping the pressure on the 2 CTs, holding down that particular angle. And Shaney with his own AWP will tramp into the first, out towards the apps area. Dancy trying to look for the refrag, but he's not going to find it in this case. And the bomb will make his way back in towards the B site. That may have been enough to sell the fake in this case for CEX, but they're banking a little bit too hard on the fact that the 2 players have rotated back from the B site. They still got Aussie. They've still got Vanity. No AWP, but this will be a hit towards the B site here.
It will, and I think they will have heard the jumping around on the site. They have probably picked the numbers, and here they come. They don't care. Vanity to the right. Astro does find him at the second time of asking, and that's given good information. Ozzy tries to get the frag and does, but that trade has gone in favour of CEX, and that hasn't happened too often. Dancy's able to pick up Shiki, who tried to go for the backstab on him, and it doesn't come. So Shaney walks out. LSC's maybe a pixel. That's given the information. And Dancy's is going to be looking to mop up. It's not going to be a retake. Shaney going to try and keep the AWP from both angles, and it's going to be a tough ask for him to do that. Big excitement. Meanwhile, in the TF2 final, Shaney gets one. He's got players trying to shoot him from both angles. He's down to 17 points of health. Has a play on Shiki on half. He's worried about a player from construction, and he could do a lot of economic damage and potentially keep the AWP. No, he's flushed out by footsteps from LS out of the ruins, and they don't allow him to keep that AWP.
I mean, the fact that you got that one kill anyway towards the end of that 1 versus 3 is more than enough. You know, again, it keeps the CEX side very modest. Yep. Their economy is not being allowed to build it, and that's the one thing that Vex really have going for them, is the fact that that money line before it just disappeared was not looking like the same sort of team that have won 4 rounds in a row. Admittedly, they're not that great in their own right. They've got an eco coming up, but even so, if they can take a few more kills, if they can just get at least 2 kills, then that will still force the reinvestment from the CEX side, and the economy still won't be looking that great. So they're keeping CEX modest. They're keeping them from getting too over-aggressive and getting too overconfident in this matchup, which means that they can't go for full-blown B rushes or A rushes and make it successful and, you know, have the money to fall back on in this case. They got to take it slow. They got to go in towards that default, and they have to win the round more importantly. It's 4-3. It is to the favour of CEX. CT's got a bit of a stack on the B side. They're expecting the bomb to go here, but once again, the T side is spread out. They're in that default. They're going to be looking for that first pick, and they're going to be looking to go to whatever site is really open here. Yeah,
for sure. Going to be thinking about this B. And there's going to be a fair amount of attention, and they are going for it. Astro gets one. They've got the info on the numbers. Dancy's doesn't care. He knows that it's an eco now, and he's going to sit in. Link over at the other site, throwing the misdirection. They're using that to good effect, and Dancy's through the coffins. He doesn't care. He's just slammed through. That's 3 frags on the board for him, and CEX edge themselves out a 2-round lead. Hemsky back up with the AWP, going to be looking to get an early pick with that. Maybe take down Shaney. There's a couple of times when he's faced when maybe he shouldn't. So opportunities for that early pick is available.
Only one player falling for CEX in that last round, which is the best case scenario for Vexed in that particular case. Now, they could have gotten 2, but I think they'll be happy with 1. They keep the economy kind of modest in its own right, but it's still kind of building up for the CEX side. They had quite a lot of money going into this next round, so they got a bit of a bulk buy for their own. The AWP coming out from Mars on Vanity, bit influence for everybody else. Slightly limited utility for the CET side, but they can hold up a much more solid and defined defensive versus last time where CEX were just looking for that first pick and then they just rolled on all the kills towards their failure. And you know, it was always going to be a tough round for Vex to win, but they played it right. They were trying to get themselves the kills, and that's the only thing they were really focusing on. They got themselves one. You know, that's fine in this particular case. They don't have to worry about the next couple of rounds and trying to break the economy. So 60 seconds, the setup back in for CEX. There's an A-set default. Just kind of playing in for that first pick once again. But so far, they're not going to find it. LS will be pushed in towards this mid area on the arch side. And he will be looking to hopefully catch one of the CETs off guard. But for the time being, CEX, they push the bomb in towards B Banana. This could still be another B hit.
Yeah, it looks like that's their route. Still leaving that one player hanging towards A, going to do what he can. And he's walking around. Now, I think he's unpicking this passive A approach from Vexed, and that's something that we can maybe touch on once the round is over. But I think that hit's going to be coming pretty soon, and they're actually moving their way back towards A. I think realising just how far defensively they're playing. Lumji, in the meantime, has gotten his bike, and he's coming on the rotate. Shaney in the pit. He's going to get flushed out with a Molotov, but he's going to pick up a frag as he does so, as he's taken down to half. Oh, Shaney moving around. He doesn't care. Crossfire comes in, and what a hold this turns out to be.
Shiki and Shaney, well played from those two. The AWP particularly from Shaney back towards pit. We were often commenting on how Dancy on his CT side is so good in that pit area. Turns out Shaney is just as good with an AWP, and in this case, he shuts down the defensive CX almost single-handedly. Did get traded out, but Shiki was there to support him, and that's 2 kills for either player. But T-Side also had some very good strategies going into that one. You notice how LS was actually pushing up into the archway over here in this particular case. They were looking for that little bit of map control and information on where the CTs were. LS did fall, but they had the info. They all went around towards truck side. It was just the case that they also had the CETs defending on that side as well. Opening pick into towards the round. Hemsky does take down Shaney. That's a great start, and look at this CEX. So much more defined in their aggressiveness, and Shiki will also go down as well. They've taken down one of the 2 key players from the last round, and now they're going to be they're going to be feeling very, very good about this retake right here. It might not even come in from Vexed, and indeed it's not. Lumgey's rotated away. That's Aussie, Vanity, and Lumgey all saving their weapons. They know that their economy is in jeopardy, so they want to save as much as they can.
Yeah, for sure. And Shaney needs to learn that he can't go for everything. Now, it's fine to be aggressive, but you need to be select when you do that. And if you're going to step mid with the AWP, you've either got to have the perfect spawn on CT side, or you're going to be second to the punch on it. And Hemsky is more than happy to pick up the frag from there, and it's opened up that A site, which they defended so well last time out. And it's ended up being a very easy round for him. So just need to have some select aggression from Shaney.
Yeah, CX's aggression worked out so well. All the damage done was down to that bomb blowing up. There was not a single point that was done by a CT player in that round. So CEX, when they can get aggressive, this is what we were talking about earlier, the aggression of the CEX side that they can apply so effectively to their T side. It can get very, very dangerous here for the Vexed lineup right here. So 2-round difference back in for the CEX side. A force buy will come down from Vexed. For Masters coming out, the AK saved by Aussie, and the M4, of course, by Lumgey. Into this round. A more defined split coming in with Lumgey, who can rotate, and the aggression coming in towards this B banana area, but they're both held out towards this wall cross, and they are not going to be letting up so easily. Once again, back in towards this default from CEX, hoping for an over-rotation, hoping for someone from Vex to get cocky, but so far they're not biting, they're just holding face, they're waiting for the defensive to have to come through.
Yeah, for sure. Going back towards the A site, worked for them last time, favouring it again. Sure, it won't be too long before they're moving back towards the B with 1 solo player. But they've got the boosted. Shiki's got 2, make it 3. Lumgey comes in to join with the crossfire, even though it's both coming from the same angle. They clean up. Very solid work. And the FAMAS, despite being the cheaper rifle, does the job there.
See, this position right here, it is so solid, and it's just because of that boost that you can make on top of the scaffolding, when one player's lower and one player's upper. The crossfire is literally vertical, so that you don't even need to have 2 players aiming left and right. It's up and down. That's a whole other can of worms to try and deal with if you're CEX, and it proved that to be the case that the spray downs could come through, and they lined up so well for the CT defensive of Lumgey and Shiki. So back into this first round, 1-for-1 trade coming into B as a more default setup comes in from both sides. In this case, they trade out Astro for Vanity. Nicely done in this case for the Vexed Gaming side. They will be a little bit spread thin across their sites. 2 players for both A and B. So a divine push from CEX could still catch them off guard, could still break this defensive, but for the time being, they will just hold things back and wait and play their default.
They sure will. Coming up to just about a minute left to go on the clock. The Lumgey, he's floating around, expecting that it may be coming back towards the A, and he has left and come through to outside, just waiting for some commitment, and the commitment does come from some utility thrown towards the top of mid. Aussie uses a Molotov to slow down, and CEX, they are using a bit of utility to throw fakes on both the A and the B sites. Lumgey's now dropped back towards B, forces Aussie to throw out his incendiary, which is not the cheapest thing to buy. LS comes in straight away with a play on Grave. Shiki's position will be known on the site. Shaney's got a frag in the meantime, though. Plant comes in, LS with the double. Rotate coming in from the 2B players, and let's see if they can lock this thing down.
2v2 retake incoming for the CT side. Lumgey will spot Hemsky in towards cubby corner over on the arch side, so it's all LS. Got to find 2 players, and they're both coming in from the same angle. He's not checking this. The bomb is planted for default, so he's got an opportunity in this particular case to try and shut them down. Lumgey will peek, looking for the first head. LS gets him, but there's one player very close. Knife out, but still slicks out towards the AK just in time to get the last headshot. That's a 4K for LS, and 7 rounds on the board for CEX. This money line for Vexed is not looking very good at all. We've got 3,000, 4,000, not enough for a full buy, maybe for a force, but it may be smart just to save a few pistols in this case and go for a bit of a half eco. Smoke, a couple of flashbangs out, a couple of bits of Kevlar, but upgraded pistols across the board. Not the best buy-in from Vexed.
No, definitely not, and they've got to be careful how they manage this, as if they get it wrong, they gamble, and they lose, then they are going to be staring down the barrel of a 10-5. Not an ideal sitch to find themselves in. LS, great aggression, and yeah, that was a ballsy play that he made pushing into the site in the way that he did, but he faced that player from the second angle and it came off for him. So good bit of damage from both teams. Lumji taken down to 40 points of health, and I'm not sure if they've figured out that there are 3 players stacking up towards the B, which seems to be their favourite area at the moment, but they're going to put in a little test towards A, and the push does come in. Vanity gets one. That's the bomb dropped, so they're going to have to go for it. Hemsky, though, trades straight back 4v4 CeX.
And look at the health once again. 3 players up on 100 HP for the CEX side, and Aussie and Vanity on 32 and 39 respectively. Sure, they've got Shani and Shiki on 100, but that's still 2 for 3 on either side, and Dancy as a result will put his AK into effect, taking ahead. Link gets another, looking for Shiki, and the dink will come through from the pistol, but it's not enough up against a full armor Kevlar helmet player. And Vanity, just like this, is going to be the last man alive. Out towards Banana, looking for whatever he can find. Could be able to pick up Dancy, but counter flash coming in from Hemsky. Vanity does take the kill, but that may be all he can find. Just grab that AK and save it into the next round. Hemsky and co will go hunting. Ellis spots him out. Vanity does get the AK, and he's holding back behind Mexico, hoping that he doesn't get picked off. Oh, but Hemsky spots him nicely. Done a small angle. Will bring the 8th round to the CEX. And Vanity almost got away with that AK. That would have been great for him, but just not to be the case. Round 14 coming into play. Another pistol eco coming in from the CT side. This is going to be more of a half play than anything else. They could go for they've got some utility for the defensive smokes, grenades, couple of flashbangs out as well. So could still be around coming out from here, but they're mostly going to save for that round 15 buy. Yeah,
I think so. They kind of preempted what we were talking about, that if they go for the full-on gamble, then it's going to be a problem. So bought enough to give themselves at least a fighting chance, and going for a similar kind of setup, seeing if they can make it work. So Astro looking away, all peeking towards the mid-angle. There is a guy walking down Banana, and unfortunately for him, he's actually stopped. That is Vanity, I believe, who's gone aggro, and they're not messing around here. CeX, they're going to commit. And Link spraying all around before he eventually comes out with a frag on Shiki. They could move a little quicker than they are. They don't know what the situation is with these players, but they have the opportunity to get onto the site. It's only going to take 1 frag. Now it's going to take 2 with the library rotate. They've still got the possibility of a player coming in from behind, so Vexed still have a chance to come away with something here.
Astro get one more pick back on Vanity. They're out towards the B side, and as the B side defensive pretty much solidly dead. They're still going to push the bomb in towards the truck side on A, however. That just makes more sense. They haven't really got a whole lot of defensive coming in from the CT side. Ollie does get 1, but 1 for 4 is not a whole lot, and the bomb will be allowed to plant right in here. CEX, just a case of better weapons in this case. If you can't take aim duels, then at the end of the day, you can't be able to hold a decent defensive on the CT side. So pistols out, look for whatever they could, utility to hopefully boost the odds in their favour and try and make it a little bit more of an even fight. Shaney also still alive and kicking. We'll look to get a couple of exits. 1 more kill here would be good enough, but I don't think he's going to be able to find it. Astro knows where he is. Ellis and Hemsky, they have the information communicated to them, so they will hold things out. AK is recovered. A 5-7 for Shaney, and he will get shut down in towards the apps area. That's 9 rounds on the board for CEX. Vexed will look towards this final bite right here. M4's coming out. AWP for Shaney, more than likely. He's got 5700. Yeah, it will come through with no helmet, which of course it is understandable. The AK is a 1-tap headshot, so why waste your money? Particularly in this case when you're low on your laurels and you're down to the last round of the half. Get out of you think you can. The AWP is also a 1-shot gun, so to get that out against the T side would just be great in their own right. CEX mid-play default. Actually, this could be a very aggressive rush, and indeed it is. Straight down, Shaney will get the first. Dancy trades it back to a 4 versus 4, and the flashbangs will come through. Try to see if they can enter in towards the split. Astro back towards Arch side. Smokes off Arch. Molotov's out the library area and gets the flank on Shaney, who doesn't see it coming. Bomb allowed to plant. It's a 3v4 retake for CEX.
Yeah, a little too hungry again. Shaney did come away with a frag. Oh, Dances keeps doing that. He just keeps spamming through, expecting someone's going to step in, and they keep running into his iron sights. It's crazy. And Link comes out. He's been kept quiet so far, but was a standout player in the match that we just watched earlier on today. He picks up a frag. Last man is Aussie. What can he do? If it goes to 9-6, if some miracle clutch comes out, then that's not a bad score. 10-5 though, that is not going to be a confidence builder for Vexed, and it does go 10-5. So a lot riding on this first pistol.
Yeah. I think you could argue to a certain extent that this pistol could mean the end of the game if CEX are able to take it right here. Of course, they still have to get the rifle round, and of course the eco round after that to get to map point. We will see if they go for it. Double flash smoke out for Shiki. Everybody else got Kevlar on that T side, and the CEX, the T side have the defuse kit out for Astro. Smoke as well. Kevlar for everybody else. USPs in P2K. in play for LS in particular, and the CTs will just hold down on their standard offensive while the T-side pistol default comes into play in towards Apps. Astro reads it. He gets himself in towards position on the balcony in case they decide to make their way in towards an arch balcony, a truck balcony split in this B site, which it looks like that's exactly what they're going to be setting up for. They've got Shiki on the backstab just in case they need to cover off the backstab and also just to provide utility support from the back of the Apps area. CT's looking to rotate, but Vanity will be the first man in, completely blind, as are two other CT players. Takes down Hemsky, swings around for Astro, and takes him down very, very nicely. Link will come through, take down Lumsy, but it's only 1 for 2. Trading a 3 versus 4. The retake on for CEX, but it is very, very difficult right here. Vanity and his team, they have a very nice advantage here.
They sure do. And they played it perfectly. Vanity, as soon as he steps, he catches a flash completely white, but the two CTs weren't able to deal with it, and Shiki comes in from behind. Ozzy does the job. Dancy's trying to click faces with the pistol, and he's doing just that, but 3 more of those going to be needed to bring it home. Bomb Plant is going to put some nice cash in the bank, and surely now as he steps out in the open, he can't find all 3, and it is going to be first on the board for Vexed.
Shiki, I talked about that backstab area. He was held out towards this particular point in the map just for basically, the entire time while the push came through. And when he came through, there was the one player that was out towards his Apps area, and he came back around. He spotted him. That's exactly what I was talking about. Just in case the backstab came on through, just in case the CTs got round behind the T line. He's the insurance policy. He's the man that makes sure that does not affect him. And in this case, CEX had a chance in that 3v4. Once he died, 2v4, not a chance in hell. And in this case, it will be Vexed saving their bacon here in this pistol round. They will have the buy-up. 3 rifles coming into beat, 2 SMGs to bolster the economy. Forced buy also for the CEX side. That scout out for Dancy. He's proved to be very deadly with it in the past. Let's see if he can do it again here.
He's certainly going to try, and he can pick up 1 or 2 frags with that weapon. It's a useful thing to be able to do. Now, often you see players go for it and then they do nothing with the 2,100 odd bucks that they invest in the thing. But Dancy's, you wouldn't put it past him getting a couple of frags, and can sometimes anchor a position. He is over towards, actually he's playing on the rotate, so he's going to be coming in from the library side. He's got the range that he can use that weapon for. Shiki fires off some shots in the direction of Astro, who retreats into the pit, and that's just enough to send him deeper into the site and slow up the rotation as they're making the play. This is a little risky. There's someone in the smoke as LS gets 2. The smoke player comes through and nothing actually comes of it. Dancy's though, he picks up a frag. He's got the track on a player in the smoke as well. Lumgy's going to be able to track him down, but 2 versus 2. CeX Plant comes in, and this is a doable retake.
Astro goes down, however, as Ozzy picks up 1 more kill for Link. This gets very, very, very difficult. He's got to land these headshots. 1 digs to come through, flips the first 2, but manages to land the 3rd. We have the tag damage coming on through, but the Deagle is just not enough in this case. The UMP will land the kill, and Lungy will save the round for Vex, but that got very, very expensive when you consider they brought down 3 rifles up against pistols. CEX got all they needed out of that round. They've broken the economy. This buy is going to be extremely weak. You can see 2 MAC-10s have to come out from the T side, and sure, they can bolster the economy a little bit in this next round, but the round after this, in round number 19, where CEX have their first full buy, they could so easily shut this whole thing down.
Yeah, for sure. This is the time for them to do it, and it's a tough thing to find when you don't pick up the round win, but you do a serious amount of damage, and that stack in the mid has sent them scurrying all the way back towards the bottom of Banana. They will be able to enter that site, but they're favouring a retake. That MAC-10 from Link is surprisingly effective from range, actually, that weapon, and that trade is working in favour of CEX. They have the numbers, so look at these. They're 3 players down at Banana. The rotate is going back towards the A site. The CTs are going back towards the A site. It's all going to come down to A.
3v3, Lungy takes down Astro and trades things back. The bomb will get planted. CEX will be on for the retake. They've already got themselves in towards after plant positions. Link comes through in towards Apps. 1 more player back out towards the mid area, and there will be 2 players looking to double peek on towards Dancy's, but he's got a PT-50 in his hand. Can he try and land the kill? Nope. Doesn't get the tags. In fact, Vanity will just spray him down with a MAC-10. 1 more player coming back around. Some MAC-10 in the hands of Link. He gets shut down. So now it's all Hemsky with the Galil in his hands. He can go for this if he wants to. He's got a buy back in the next round, and he will be holding the pressure up on the T side, looking to take that AK out of their hands, which again will be a huge investment loss if CEX can find it. He's held back towards Arch side, hoping for them to rotate on through, and in fact they're going to play right in towards his hands. Vanity just spotted him though, does shut him down and does save that AK. 3k for him as well on that MAC-10, gets the Galil back and gets the main couple of rifles back for this T side. So the economy's looking a little bit more bolstered with those SMG kills coming on through, but either way, CEX, they had a solid strategy going into this one. I bring that map back up again. They had a 4-man crossfire set up for this entire position. When the first man peaked, they got shut down, and then from there, the T side was so slow in the rotation back in towards the B side because they realized that it took them a while to realize there were 4 players in this position. So by that time, they had all rotated back in towards here to get that kill, that dink. They almost brought the round back, but fortunately, with a quick counter rotations back in towards the A side, Vex were able to save the round in that case.
Yeah, for sure. I think maybe if they'd committed further to the push into mid, they would have got that information on how many players were there, but they also would have lost more of their force in doing so. So, yeah, I think it took a little while for them to fathom out what was going on. Still able to pick up the round, though, and we're back to within 2. First buy coming in from CeX. No AWP in their hands, but from what we saw from Shaney, there were too many times where he got caught out, maybe being a little too aggressive, a little too early. With them only 2 rounds away, it hasn't hurt their chances too much, it turns out, but you've got to be just a little cautious about over-committing with the AWP in hand, as tempting as it is to go and be a game winner with the big green gun. So ticks down to just under a minute, so as seems to be the way for this event, this is the time when teams are starting to make their plays onto the various sites. Couple stacked up in the apartments. This is quite an aggressive position for them to be in. Couple of players on the site, and they're pretty much on the boosted spots, looking more towards the quad play. How will they react to the balcony play, though? Astro, I think he could be quite exposed if they go for this.
This is quite an odd setup from the T side. You would expect the bomb to be with the 3 players, and there were 2 moving up towards Banana. It felt like it was going to be a fake, but here comes the flashbangs, and here comes the counter utility coming up from the CT side. Ozzy taps his way onto Hemsky's head, but Link comes back into the 4v4. Shiki sprays on through, looking for the play on top of the box, and does find him. Astro, he knows he's close towards the site, and Shaney is trying to mark him off and keep him still. The bomb will be allowed to get planted, and so the T side, with their very slow pace play eventually exploding out of the gate, are going to get easy access to the A site, and just like that, Ellis and Dancy, they're falling out. They're not even going to give away these guns. They need them for the next round because that's 9 rounds. That's 4th round loss bonus, and after a 3rd round bye, that means that they have to save. Yeah,
for sure. I like the way that they tried to play it on CT side. They did it in the right way in that they didn't just stick a guy in boost and then leave it. They had Astro there also trying to shoot at the players as they came out. It's so easy to put someone in boost, leave them there. The best they're going to get is trade out 1 frag before they're caught. So they tried to do it in the right way. Execution wasn't quite there in the end, but at least they gave themselves a fighting chance to be able to come away. Going to be a save, as you said there, Jay, this time around. A couple of players on 3K. Maybe going to be thinking about getting the utility to try and slow up and put the rifles into play, but instead going for the upgraded pistols. And this is the chance for Vexed to pull it back even to 10-10.
Ellis and Dancy's will be the anchor players for the CT side. They need to get those frags. They need to try to find the openers, but Dancy just walks straight into the hands of Shaney. Just like that, LS needs to fall back away from the B side. It might do good to potentially rotate 1 man away. For now, it looks like the T side will just go in for this mid-default holdout for anyone else who wants to get over-aggressive. And actually, LS will be the main man to hold down the B side. They have put Link in play also there, but that means that they're spread extremely thin with pistols over on the A side. Astro and Hemsky will have to do a damn good job if they want to hold this round together. But again, eco round from CEX. They're looking to try and get picks. They're looking to try and take rifles away more than anything else, because damage done to the economy of Vex at this point will just be great. They've been allowed to bolster it for the past 4 rounds, so to get any guns out of the hands right here would just be great. They will have a chance. LS on top of the boost spot. Link will be the first contact play. He will play for it and try to see if he can hold him down. Gets the first few shots, but Ozzy trades him out. LS, close range on the corner, looks to try to spray them down. The Vanity is able to shut him right back out. And Ozzy has wall hacks on because he's taken down Hemsky straight through the smoke. Astro goes down towards the banana position. And that is 10-10 to the favour of nobody, because CEX, their lead has been nullified. They've got 5 round max loss bonus, and they will buy it down here for round 21.
They will do exactly that. Dances with the AWP up. I'm going to keep an eye on where he's going with that weapon. And if he takes it out towards B, then it's fairly limited effectiveness, I think, from what we've been seeing so far, unless he wants to go for the face. And they're actually going for a triple stack over towards the B site. I'm sure one of those players will be getting on his bike out towards the A, and that is exactly what is happening. And of course, the terrorists won't be able to see any of this, so they wouldn't have known to hightail it fast into A. And we now have the usual 2 at B, 3 at A setup underway. And they're pushing in fast, aggressive into mid, trying to get the spray down. There is no crossfire, and they're going to be able to get access.
3v4 situation, but Ash is going to be able to trade it back out. He's the only round of the A site, and he gets shut down all the same. So, CEX, LS and Dancy back in this 2vx situation for a retake. And look at this, they're already giving it up. They don't want to lose this AWP, they don't want to lose this M4, and CeX, their aggressive stance in towards this matchup has suddenly been tamed by Vexed. So we may be in with a more even game than we think right here. LS and Dancy will concede yet another. They're on max loss bonus CeX, so they've got to try and find a way to break this eventually. Otherwise, from here on out, it's just going to be the round stacking game for Vex. They're just going to keep piling it on, and sooner or later, before you know it, they're going to be at map point, and CeX will have to focus on map 2, whatever that might be, to try and bring this series back. Again, they're playing for a spot in the grand finals up on the player stage here at I-61. So very important matchup, very important map to win. If they can get that first map, they get that nice advantage, and then they got themselves a little bit of security back in. So it will be Vex taking themselves the lead back from the CEX side, and potential for a buy to come in from the CETs. It would be weak, it would be a forced buy, but will they go for it in this case? CZ, pick Deagle out. Yep, it looks like it's just going to be a bit of a quaggy.
Yeah, fair enough. And this is the time where they will really start to feel the squeeze. If you really want to put the screw... Oh, Shady with the opening pick, taking down Dances. That's one of the M4s. It'll be recoverable. They'll be able to go and grab that. Link actually has got the AWP in hand now, so let's see what he can do with that. Sits himself back in the pit. That's going to be the route that they're going to go. Be passive. Wait for the play to come in. Yeah, I'm not sure I really liked that gamble that they went for. And that's one of those mistakes. Aussie with the frag. Ooh. Hemsky steps out. He doesn't care. He finds the face. But the plant is coming in 4v3, and Vex looking to open up a 2-round lead.
Hemsky does get taken down eventually by the P250 of Shanley's with Ellis and Astro as the last two left alive for the CTs. They're held out towards mid, and Apps LS already falling back away. Astro looking for an exit frag, gets flashed in by his teammate, but Shaney will shut him down very efficiently indeed. So that's LS falling back away into the T-spawn. I'm going to save this M4 into the next round with a max loss bonus, of course, and the partial buy coming in from the CTs means that they will have a full buy in this next round. So let's see if they can try bring one back against Vex. Let's see if they can try frag away. Let's see if they can bring an 11th to the CT side.
Yeah, we shall see. Now I'm going to state the obvious here, but the only way that they can stop the rot here is to win a round. That's the only thing. They're just going to keep finding themselves struggling to put these buys together, even with max loss bonus, unless they can win a round and stop the rot, and then they've still got to be where the reset.
Look at this double up setup coming out from Hemsky and Dancy as well. This is the first time we've seen this come out, this matchup. This could be the way. We're talking about they need to stop the rot, they need to win a round. This could be the play that wins it right here. They're going in for a default setup. 2 towards truck side, 1 towards arch, 2 on the boost towards the B side. 1 AWPs on A, 1 AWPs on B. They've got the whole bases covered. This could be the setup that breaks the Vex team inside because they don't expect this. They might not even read a double up setup coming out to be. They could expect it, but they might not expect it now. No,
or contrary to that, it could be game over for them. That's a lot of money that you're investing, 10 grand just into those weapons. If you drop both of those and get shut down, well, again, that could be it. It's so close now. 4 rounds away from victory, and if you're stumbling over what cash you've got to be able to scrub something together, you've not got that buffer to work with anymore. The buffer has gone. This is the time for things to happen. Still a slow build-up, still waiting for the commitment, maybe expecting someone like Dancy's to try and go aggressive either on Banana or into mid and give his weapon away again. It's not happening, so this is where they're going to need to use their utility. They've got a full bank of it. They're going to take this control of the top part of mid, and Shady.
Oh! Shady, my man, turn off the VAC bands because you might be getting some tonight. That's going to be the open B side coming in for the T side. The AWP from Vexed will start to make their way in towards the B side. They have got Dancies rotating in, trying to see if he can spot something up, but the smoke is down and they are ready to receive right here. They're going to start reading all this utility, try to take some pop shots, and Dancy does land Vanity, trying to drop the bomb. The bomb's on the site, is planted back towards the fountain, little bit out in the open, but it does go back in towards the coffins to try and make their way into the 4 versus 4 retake. CeX need to win this. Shiki's blind. Astro captures him back off guard, and suddenly the man advantage tips back to the favor to the CEX side. Link will go ahead and join him. 2 more will go back out towards main and try to see if they can look to make their way in towards the front of the B side. Dancy up on the flower pot boost. Lomji might not read this. He doesn't see him. He spots him there, turns it back, knows that there's 2 back around the corner, and he might be able to take down Link. I mean, Shane will come through with the AWP. Lomji takes down Link. Hemsky, last man, can't stomach the spray of Aussie, and they will hold it 13-10 to the favor of the Vex side.
Down goes the orb, in comes the pause, and there is no doubt that this is a tactical. Now, they've got a choice. They've got $8,400 on LS, so he can buy and he can drop a weapon, and he's probably going to drop an orb so that someone can get armor and full utility. Or they could eco. I would be inclined to say eco from the way that this is going. Let's have one final go with a full spend of everything and see what you can do. But I bet they will force into this. I bet they'll buy. They're going to roll all on this round, and if they don't pick it up, that's pretty much the end of map 1.
Well, let's have a look, see. Buys coming out, a couple of upgraded pistols, a UMP bought for LS, so it is a half buy more than anything else. Gonna be looking for a little bit of something, you know, maybe a defuse, maybe a ninja to come in from Hemsky. Maybe just hold things down with the UMP from LS, or try farm up some money on someone, somewhere on the CT side. They're still at max loss bonus, so with the money left over after this particular buy, they could have themselves a good rifle round in towards the next one. But of course, this is where things are starting to get risky.
Yeah.
Vexed are 2 away from map point, and this, on paper, should be around for them.
Yeah.
So if they get there, that'll be 14-10. Rifle round, 15-10. That might just be a reset coming up from CeX. They'll have to force buy down again, and that could mean 16-10. So just on mathematics alone, this whole round, so much rides on it for CeX right now. So they need to find something right here. They need to find at least some damage, because the T-side economy is absolutely golden. Like, it is richer than the Bank of England right now. So let's see if maybe CeX can do some damage to that. Start to whittle away. It will be a dent. It will be a couple of kinks in the armor, but it's something at the very, very least that they can work off of. Ozzy will start things off. Dance is the man to fool. They have the information on at least one player, or at least maybe 2 or 3 in the apps area. Yeah,
for sure. Now, whether they'll decide to work on this quickly or not, and I think they're just going to stack up and wait for someone to commit. So tempting on CT side if you lose a player to try and get that advantage back, or at least bring it back even, and they are making their way. That flash is perfect. That's whited 2 of the players, and are able to pick both of those up. Plant's going to come in, and it's 5 players still left. A flawless victory will be a great result. Shady, he might not even get a battle, and he does get the tag, but not the frag. Maybe it's going to come, though. Shiki running. Make sure that doesn't happen. Stops that player from doing anything, and Astro, can he catch someone unawares?
He spots 2 out, but he gets double sprayed down. It seemed like a perfect ninja opportunity, but in this case, it is just not to be. He gets taken out of the action now. Last chance saloon for CeX. This will be the full buy it down. No money will be left. Double AWP in play. Brought up by LS. Passed off to Hemsky. M4's in play to back it all up. This is the full buy. This is the potentially last full buy that CeX can get back in this half, in this map right here. AWP out, meanwhile, out for Shaney. 4 AKs. They've got all the money in the world. They are more than fine on the Vex side, and suddenly the aggression will come in from CeX. They will try and look for a bit more of an aggressive playstyle that can potentially catch the Vex side off guard. They have found a 1-for-1 trade, but look at this. The T side, they've snuck right past the CT line. The bomb will be allowed easy access. Hemsky will try and hold off with the AWP, but look at the position from the CT side. They're so discombobulated. They're so out of range, and this should mean the bomb getting planted on the A side and a retake up for CEX.
In theory, it would dance. He's made plenty of those shots through the smoke. Doesn't quite come away this time. Hemsky coming towards Little Pit. Smokes, Molotovs. Oh, that was a waste. Coming in from the T side as the plant now comes in. 4v3 in favour of CEX. Can they get themselves in, though? All the utility coming in. It's just trying to slow down. They've got 2 AWPs. They are not that mobile. And with those AWPs, they've got to get them onto site at some point. So just running the timer down. They've got 1 kit between 3 of them. So if that goes down, then it might be tough to retrieve it. And they make their way. They're trying. LS gets 1 into the site. Can they slow it down? Can they make it up? Well, maybe. Vanity and Shiki with a frag each. It's in favour. They've thrown it away.
That is tragic. So well played from Vanity. Back in pit is CT Instincts kicking right in, and he distracted the CT side enough to the point they didn't realise that Shiki was in the back corner of the site. They all focused towards pit. They all got discombobulated once again, and Vexed will take map point. Look at that money. That is amazing. They have built that up so badly. And at this point, the CTs, I don't even think they've got enough rounds to break that economy. They've just got to win, and go to overtime and not stop the train 3 M4s will come out. A scout for Dancing. Look for the heads. Might find one. He does spot out Shane. He does take him down. Astro, meanwhile, also on the FAMAS. But look at the utility for the CT side. It is very, very dire right here. The default will come in, but actually they've got some pretty decently aggressive angles. Not quite the same as pushing straight up mid, but they are holding the T side back. Astro going to get one more. Looking for Lumsy. He's already tagged down. Astro gets himself the second. It's a 2 versus 5. He does get traded out, and Ozzy will come in to support, but Link has taken down his teammate. So actually, this could still be a winnable round here for CEX in a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, I think so. A very tough ask for Ozzy. He just had to worry about trying to get a plant or anything. So this is his chance to be a hero in the 1 versus 5, or would have been, but now going to be 3 more players to find if he wants to clutch this. I think we can assume that that's not going to happen, and we've got a bit of time before we find out if that's the case. So I think looking at how that round panned out, so they had the double in apartments. It took a while before they found that out, i.e. 2 players going in there, sacrificing themselves before they found out, and a really nice pick from Dancy. So didn't pan out this time, but they've got plenty of cash. They can reload and try again. And if Ozzy can take 1 or 2 players out, do the economic damage again, they may not have the best buy going into the next one.
Ozzy on 8 HP. Will try to peek in towards the B site. Now he's going to throw that smoke, realise where he is, but LS should shut him down. So, CEX with a lifeline. They've got this round. A pretty hard buy into this round. Of course, they invested quite a lot, but now they have a lifeline. They just need to run with it right the way to overtime, and they need to take overtime over the edge as well. So, AK recovered by Astro, nicely done. 4 M4s out, and the AK as well can negate some of the armor from the T side as they push on through. If he lines up a good spray, if he taps some heads, then that will just be armor completely redundant for the T side. So, more money wasted, more damage done to this economy, and now the T side aren't looking so strong as they were. Still very strong, but still not as strong as they were. So, AWP coming out from Shaney, not the AWP out for the CT side. They haven't quite got the money right there just yet. And they will hold down a very nice angle right here. Astro's just right in the corner here. He's expecting for a flashbang to come through from the mid area and just peek out and shut them down as soon as they can. But this T-side default doesn't look like it's going to be playing towards that middle area. Instead, they've gone towards apps, look for an aggressive CT stance in apps, and they haven't found it. They're rotating back towards the B site, and it looks like banana push will be the play.
Yeah, I think so. Without that AWP in CT, which opened up the opportunities in the mid area, maybe that's the problem. They're going to have 5 players charging in against 2, getting quite aggressive up towards the banana area by the looks of things. So let's see what they can do with that. You're just waiting things out. Bomb going back towards the bottom of mid. More out of anything to make sure that they don't get backstabbed. Molotov's going in towards the top of mid, and now it comes in. That flash was super effective. The spray down now comes in, but these guys will run out of bullets. No. There's 5 players there, and now they can roll their way. Chance for a retake, 3v3. Let's see what you got.
Oh, CEX, they had the defensive line down, the crossfire set from the B site in towards Banana, but in this case, they found a way to break it. Vexed are going to pull this back and set the retake up for their side. Now CEX, they're in a whole lot of hurt. This flashbang needs to be good, and indeed it is. Blinds off all 3 players, but now the retake needs to come in. They got to find this thick and fast. They've got 2 M4s and AK, and the T side after pump positions are so damn good. As Lumley's going to prove by taking 1, taking 2, and looking for Astro, shutting it down alongside Vanity. That will be 16-11 in